She said, what?
How could they do something like that?
Are you serious?
What a thirsty MFer.
Not good. She's absolutely dead to me.
That's because she died.
I'm Sterling Mulberry.
And I'm Blair Payton. And welcome to
Bad Behavior, a morally questionable podcast.
We're two unqualified friends,
Two unhinged comedians,
determined once and for all what is good
and what is bad.
Hello and welcome to Bad Behavior. Guys, we missed you. We had to take a week off.
We took a week off. I got a few texts from friends being like, hey, everything okay? No episode this week.
Why are they obsessed with us?
I know. So anyways, we took a little time off last week because we had a huge show in LA that I'm sure you guys are like, please stop talking about it. We had a big show in LA. It was also my birthday that week.
Yeah.
Blair went to Las Vegas to see Kelly Clarkson. It was a lot was happening. A lot was happening. And so we just had to catch up slightly.
By the end of the week, I was just drained, like emotionally, physically drained. Like that week took it out of me. Did you feel the same way?
Well, yes, I was so tired. And famously, the day after our show, I said, Blair, I want to just go to the beach with you. I just want to go to the beach, relax, have a beer at the beach, just chill. We get in the car again, the day after our show. I'm emotionally drained. I'm so tired. And Blair is in the passenger seat. Okay, I'm driving.
I feel like you're about to drag me, and I don't like the cadence in which you're delivering the story. But continue.
Because Blair is famously a Capricorn, okay? And he is a boy at work. Your eyes are moving everywhere right now because you're like, where is she going with this? Okay.
Yeah.
No, but basically, it was just like, it was so funny because I feel like I was so drained and you were next to me and you're like, okay, so what's next? What do you think we're going to work on next? You think we should book another show? It's like literally like 10:15 a.m. We literally just finished our show less than 12 hours ago. I'm like literally bleary-eyed, also like on the highway merging, so stressed. And I'm like, Blair, I need at least 20 minutes. No talking. We can't talk about anything about work. And Blair's like, oh, okay. I think we last 5 minutes. Blair's talking about other things, about his trip. We loop right back to work. And I'm like,
well, here's what's so funny. One, didn't realize I did that, even though you called me on it. And two, I was just as tired, but I'm just good at masking it, you know?
Yeah. Well, also, you got to be passenger seat, and I was stressed driver merging.
Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, it's not so bad driving here. What's the big hubble?
Actually doesn't seem too bad to drive here. I'm like, as I'm like quaking.
Meanwhile, you have the clinched wheel.
Blair, you're going to be able to drive us home, right? He's like, absolutely not. He's like, no way.
Oh, it would just take me too long, and I trusted you as the driver of LA roads.
Yeah, of course. So then we go to the beach. But it was really nice. What did you think of LA? Are you moving?
No, it was great. I had a question and it left my... Oh, here's what I wanted to ask you. So I left on Friday because I went to go see Kelly Clarkson in Las Vegas.
Yes.
So am I correct in hearing that there was a hurricane and an earthquake the same day?
I forgot. Yeah, that also happened this week. There was.
What was that like? I've never experienced an earthquake. And so... Because did you ever see Superman from 1978? The movie?
Maybe.
Christopher Reeve. Okay, well, there's a scene in the movie where Lois Lane is driving, I think up an LA mountain, like on a road. And then an earthquake happens. And then like the earth opens and her car falls back. And then like she can't get out. And then all this dirt falls on her and she dies. That's how I envision earthquakes.
Maybe some. I'm sure some. It literally, this one was one of the smallest ones I felt here. It lasted, I think, 5 seconds. Like by the time I would have stood up, it was done. And yeah, how was Las Vegas? How was Kelly Clarkson?
Oh my God, you guys.
Are you going to marry her? Are you going to marry that girl?
I would only marry her for like the health benefits, but not for a romantic relationship.
Do you think she has good health care?
Oh, I'm sure. She has a talk show. So
I don't know if that necessarily means that.
I think it does. I think they're taking care of her over at NBC. But she was so good. I'm telling you, I was scream singing to every single song.
I believe it.
I did a highlight reel on my TikTok if you're dying to hear how tone deaf I am. But the funniest part was this couple that came to the show, and they sat beside me. We got there early. And they were originally from Nashville. but they now live in Vegas. They used to have a country band, but now she works in real estate. He's a lawyer. So we were just chatting, and I was like, are you following the Kelly Clarkson divorce drama on TikTok? And she was like, no. So I was like giving her little tidbits while her husband went to the bathroom. And so then he comes back, sits down, then like 30 seconds later, they switch seats, and he's like, my wife felt like she had a connection with you and wants to hear more about this divorce. So we were talking about the divorce drama, which, guys, it is juicy. Get on TikTok.
But also support her music. We're not just
support her
interested in
music.
Women's relationships, Blair.
Oh, no. Well, my biggest concern was because her mother-in-law is Reba McEntire, and we stan Reba. And I just wanted to make sure this was not going to affect their relationship, you know? And it hasn't.
You
with
checked Reba in Las Vegas.
Well, Kelly was interviewed on Watch What Happens Live, and she was like, no, because Reba's been through the exact same thing. You know? So the relationship is strong.
Did you like Las Vegas?
Honestly, I could have spent the entire weekend in that nice-ass hotel watching TV. We are the exact opposite.
Classic. And you know what I couldn't have done? Stayed in a hotel watching TV. That sounds like an utter nightmare. I'd have to be sick to my core to want to stay inside like that. Well, we had truly a blast. Thanks to everyone who came out to our live show in LA. And hopefully we'll do another one soon. But you know what I'm so excited for today is our guest. Yes. Our guest is absolutely hilarious. I just saw them perform a few weeks ago in LA. You know them from their hilarious podcast, Y'all Gay, as well as their many shows around LA. Please welcome Ever Mainard.
Ever, thank you so much for doing our podcast. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited.
So we want to ask you a little question. We want to get serious right off the bat.
Okay.
How do you handle conflict?
Are you mad at me?
I am.
That's how I handle it.
Yeah, I want to see how you handle this conflict I am presenting to you.
Actually, I'm actually working on this in therapy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I guess I would be conflict avoidant. I would feel guilty.
Even if you were clearly in the right, you'll still feel guilty?
Yeah, I would try to assuage. Is that the correct use of that word?
I need a definition.
Assuage?
Assuage?
Are these abbreviations or actual words?
No, they're actual words.
Wait, assuage.
Yes, to make the unpleasant feeling less intense.
Assuage.
Thank you. I love a learning moment.
Here's the most recent one. I go to this gym and there's a guy named Sheldon. He's a heterosexual man who works out in jorts.
Works out. That's impressive.
And
denim shorts.
Denim shorts. Okay.
Did you not know what a jort was, Blair?
I feel very uneducated today.
That's honestly, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. That isn't your
yeah,
culture,
it was like,
so
wait, jorts, denim shorts.
I was literally, no joke, trying to think of what letter that was.
I used to get excited when I lived in Chicago. You know, into May came around, June. I was like, time to cut these pants.
And then would you re-sew them?
Yeah. Frankenstein my pants.
Okay, so you're at the gym.
Right. And there's this guy, Sheldon. I had a personal trainer. He was really great. We did a lot of like strength training. Mm-hmm. And Sheldon, he's this kind of guy that likes to clap. He thinks he's the gym mayor, wants to come be your friend. It's like, leave me the fuck alone. He's got like a wolf pack of older men that kind of idolize him. One day I was doing lunges. He's like, hey, can I tell you a joke? And I was like, fuck. Like, it's me with my trainer and then this kind of like yuppie older woman who's like listening. He goes, I've been working out for over 40 years and it took a lesbian to show me how to lift weights right. And that was the joke. That's what he thought was the joke. And I was pissed. I was like, what's the joke here? Lesbians are the butt, like women are the butt of a joke. Lesbians are, and I was like, I didn't want to get into the whole non-binary thing with him. And I like stomped off. I was like, I can't right now. And I left and my trainer was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, but like, you know, he was like, I get it. He's a bit much. And I told him why it was upsetting. He's like, I totally get it. And now I'm the dyke that can't take a joke. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
All this time, I'm like, if he comes up to me again, I'm going to really lay into him. Like, I've learned this. So I'm getting water. He corners me and he's like 6'5". He's a tall man. And he goes, are you mad at me? And I was like, yeah, I kind of just need some space from you. I just want to do my workouts. He goes, but you're mad. And I was like, yes. I was like, just give me some. And I was like shaking and everything I had planned to say just like melted because I was like, I don't know how to do this. He's like, what did I do? And I was like, dude, think about it. I don't want to talk about it right now. Just stop talking to me. And he goes, oh, okay. And I was like, okay, fuck you. And then another queer told me that he said the same thing to her. And she is a like gold winning bodybuilding and physique like winner. Like that's her profession.
Well, I applaud you for recommending he think, because you know he's not doing that.
No, he's not.
That's more work for him.
Denim jorts. Even on leg day, like Daisy Dukes.
Can I quickly just say kind of the opposite of mean? I had an experience yesterday that this is so random, but it's been really sticking with me about like, I feel like usually I go to this is me so random, but usually I go to the DMV and it's one of the meanest places alive. People are being mean. The people that are working there are like, you're the stupidest person alive. And I just registered my car in California. It's been a little bit. I should have done it before. But the DMVs in California are saying the nicest things to you. So if you ever need a little boost of confidence right now, after a tough time at the gym, go to the California DMV.
Are you okay? Have you been hitting low? Like, it's just, are you at rock bottom right now? The DMV is like,
Yeah.
hey, hang on. Wait.
Okay, so we have a game we play on this podcast called Heaven or Hell.
Okay.
And this is a game where we are going to present some different scenarios for you, and you are going to be ranking them if it's heaven for you, hell, or if you're kind of ambivalent, purgatory.
Okay.
I saw you perform a few weeks ago, and you have a very, very funny bit that I love about coming out over a trash fire.
Actual trash.
But we have some different scenarios, other scenarios of locations that you could come out in.
All right. Number 1. On the back of a jet ski riding over to Catalina Island. Heaven or hell?
Purgatory.
Really?
Jet skis hurt your crotch.
Oh, really? I've never done a jet ski.
I haven't done jet skis in years, but I do remember at first I was like, oh.
Well, I was writing this thinking like to be on the back, so you're kind of
I'm holding someone.
you're holding someone, which could be hard over the wind. Also, the whole journey there's like between I looked it up this morning could take over an hour.
Remember when DJ Khaled got lost in Florida?
Yeah.
Wow.
Where is he?
They can't find him.
I would say purgatory because I hear your thoughts of like, it's gorgeous. You're in the ocean. But to your point, it's over an hour. You're in the sun. It's reflecting off the water. It's in your fucking eyes everywhere. And your crotch is bouncing. And you have to hold on to someone. You don't even get to drive.
But the beautiful thing about that is you didn't say it was total hell. You're still open to it being positive.
Yeah.
So you said purgatory. I love that.
Yeah, it's purgatory.
Okay, number 2. At the Thanksgiving dinner, just as everyone is standing up and starting to clear their plates.
Honestly, this is going to sound rare.
Okay.
Heaven. Very supportive family.
Okay.
Really supportive. On my mother's side, really supportive.
My only question with like clearing the plates, because sometimes that can be a little loud. You're clanging plates. You're kind of focused. You're trying to get to dessert or take a nap. So they may not be as invested. Does that change your thoughts or?
No.
Okay. Okay.
You know
Amazing.
Why?
Because we use paper plates.
See, that's how you do it. That is how you do it.
Thanksgiving, you get a nice quality paper plate. You just throw it the fuck away.
The thick ones.
And then you burn it.
You burn it.
So it's reduce, reuse, recycle. In a sense,
Amazing.
we're a very green family.
All right, number 3. In a tent.
Hell. In a tent.
Well, hold on. Let's finish. It might get better.
Okay.
In a tent on a camping trip.
Hell.
Right? Mhm, okay.
What's the bathroom situation?
Trees.
Hell.
Or
If you
maybe
were to
a
say
bucket.
like, no, hell. If
Okay.
you were to say like, oh, like if it was glamping and you have like the Star Wagon style porta potties, but it's the bathroom. It's hell.
Okay.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you pee outside, somehow you pee on yourself or you pee on your clothes.
Mhm.
It's hard.
It's hard.
You got to really have a good position.
It used to be good because I used to go to Zebulon and the lines were so long. I can't go anymore. I'm too old. They were like, it's Y2K fashion right now. You can't come in here. And I go, okay.
Okay.
Okay. I respect that. But nobody pees in Zebulon because the lines are so long. So everybody goes to this cul-de-sac. Have you been to Zebulon yet? Sterling?
You'll never believe this. I'm going maybe for the first time tonight.
Wow, we'll have fun.
This is good. This is good advice.
But if there's a line, people used to walk around the block past this restaurant called Salad. I don't remember the seat, but everybody pees in the Like everyone is just like out there. You just hear people pissing and then they leave.
Wow.
And they come
Wow.
back to the bar.
I love it. Brings people together. I love that.
It does
love
because
that.
everybody knows. You just don't want to pee at the bottom of the hill.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, number 4. In a Home Depot, waiting for a store employee to bring over a ladder so you can reach the item you're buying.
Hell. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm really going to like Home Depot. It's going to feel fun. Every time I get in there, I immediately get tired. I don't have the patience. I don't have the money to buy half the things I want to buy. And you're never going to get an employee that wants to be there.
Sure.
Yeah.
So everybody in the party's already irritated.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to Home Depot in a good mood.
Every time I go there with such big aspirations. Like I wanna do stuff. And then I get there and I'm like, oh, you have to pay for that? That seems unfair.
Yeah.
Like a
I feel
plant?
like they should be paying me.
Yeah.
I
you.
will say the only thing I like at Home Depot are the plants because I feel like you can get a good bang for your buck there.
And if the plants are on clearance, I will say that.
Anything with such tall shelves that I'm like, I'm a small.
They're keeping
person.
secrets. That's what I see.
I'm like, that makes me nervous. I'm not gonna be able to reach that ever. And it's like to the ceiling. It's too big. That's
It's
how I
too
feel about
big.
Costco too. Too big.
Mm-hmm.
People are obsessed with Costco. I understand.
I
but
used to have that
don't know.
membership, that gold membership or the premium. Now I'm like, oh, I need to go to Costco to get this one thing in bulk.
What's your one bulk item?
I am getting back into strength training and you have to eat and consume a lot of protein.
Oh, yeah.
That's real hard.
It is hard. You don't think it's going to be hard,
Mhm.
but it's like too much. But there's a protein drink I really like now. It's called Fairlife.
Oh,
It's got
yeah,
the cow
yeah, yeah.
on it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it on social media, of course.
So did I.
And
I
then,
did.
yeah, but like 40 grams of protein, 32 grams of protein in a bottle.
And the strawberry is delicious. If you
Yeah.
mix it with frozen strawberries and pineapple from...
Forget it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Game over.
Yeah.
Put some rum in it.
Only if it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5. During your toast at a friend's wedding.
Ooh, I feel embarrassed for myself already.
Yeah.
Feels like a nightmare. Feels like I'm in a waking dream right now and imagining myself doing that.
Okay.
Because I'm officiating one of my close friends' wedding. And the idea of doing that is mortifying. You can't ever, because you've taken the attention away.
Not necessarily. Like, here's what you do. Here's what you do. Just be like, okay, a
Have you done
bird-
this before?
I have.
Wait, have you?
Yeah.
No, here's what you do. Just be like, we're such good friends and I love you so much. We tell each other secrets. Like, remember that one time you robbed that convenience store and like, I got a secret too. And then you say it. So it's like, I think in the delivery, So it catches people off guard. No? Okay.
As a fellow queer person, maybe that's a way.
Okay.
Being queer has a lot of... I'm queer too.
And then
Everyone, I'm
just
queer too.
Click your glass and say, and that's it.
See you at the bar.
Yeah. Ladies.
Well, unfortunately, I think we have a last one, but I kind of have a feeling I already know where we're going to go with this one. But okay.
Okay.
In a long line to the bathroom at a music festival.
I could see that being heaven because you're at a music festival, you're with your friend, you got nothing else to talk about. You take your piss or your poo-poo. So you use your bathroom, you go to the bathroom.
You explore the options.
And yeah, you explore the options of let it release in the bathroom. And then afterwards you get to celebrate. And then everyone was like, oh my God, like, let's find some honeys. That's how people talk. We're all in a movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we've come to the part of our show
Okay.
where we have potentially a story that you've brought in today. A time where you might have been in the right or the wrong. The Blair and I, experts in behavior, will help you decide.
I recently started this thing called Dyke Stitch where I hand embroider like upcycled stuff
Oh, wow.
and like hats. Hello.
Do you have a website?
I have an IG. I got to figure out how to put it up on evermainard.com. So I had to go from my house to this other part of LA that took an hour and a half to get to with traffic. I'm not usually in this part of town. And I'm like, well, I'm over here. Like, it's, like annoyed. Like, why don't I just like a quick pickup and then I'll leave. And there's this big thrift shop. And I was like, wow, I bet there's some goodies here. And right off the bat, I see this rack and there's vintage flannel on it. Vintage like Pendleton and like really cool. And I was like, this is just, why has nobody grabbed this?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I take it off the rack. I put it in my cart and this guy goes, oh, I have my eye on those flannels. Came out of nowhere. He was not even standing around. I go, what? And he was like, granted, I'm also a reseller, but I'm not like the people that hang out at the bins, like or like at a thrift store that wait and then like go to throw it up on their like vintage store. By the way, in LA, I did go to a vintage place in Highland Park and I won't say the name of it, but I was like, wow, they have like vintage Issey Miyake and like Comme des Garçons. And then I was like, something's not feeling right about these tags. And my friend who's in wardrobe was like, they're ripping tags off of other things and sewing them. You could see the sew marks with new thread and the fading didn't even work. And then somebody was like actively doing something. And then they were like, it's like $500. And I was like, this is a Lane Bryant. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So this guy approaches me and he's like hypewear guy. Very cool, kind of like TikTok aesthetic.
Hypewear guy.
I was still wearing
what kind of person?
like the Jordans and the whole get up, whatever. He was like, being like a little pouty boy.
Sorry, at a store, this man's like, you can't take clothes off a rack.
And he was like, I am. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, you can't take the clothes. It says right here, don't take. And I was like, I don't know. It's my first time. He's like, it says it on the sign. And I was like, there's not a sign on the rack that said, don't do that. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I've never been here before. And he's like, there's a sign right there. He goes, ugh. And at first I felt so guilty. And I almost went to him and I was like, you know what? You can have this one. And then I was like, wait, fucking stop. Look around you. There are other people pulling off of this rack. And granted, one of them down the road had a sign. It's like this yellow rack. Like if you're like if you go to thrift shops to resell. But I've seen these like, viral videos of like people fighting in a thrift store for like, vintage items to resell. And I felt so guilty that I took these flannels from the rack and he was watching them and waiting for them. And I was like, I should give him one. And then I was like, I don't have to give this man shit. And then I left. I paid for it and I left. Am I in the right or in the wrong?
Yeah, so I've never been.
I would say we're not well versed in the probably reselling of thrift shops, so we'll have to dig in.
Yeah, so is it kind
I'll go
of
to the San Fernando Goodwill if you're into like.
Okay, I was gonna ask if it's kind of like a Goodwill vibe.
It was a Goodwill vibe, but gnarly. It's
define gnarly.
It's like when you see like an off-brand 99-cent store.
Got it. Okay.
Cash only.
Ugh.
I went to go pay. They're like, we're cash only. There's an ATM with a $5 fee.
So he was standing near a rack just watching clothes.
So he could pounce whenever they dropped it on the for sale rack. But it's like a line of clothes, this weird yellow thing that they roll out so that people can easily restock.
Okay, it's a kind of like this. Sometimes you go to a store, you try on clothes. And then they say, put them back on this rack and we'll put them back in the store. It's kind of like that rack.
Yeah, it's kind of like that rack.
Oh my gosh, relax. I think that guy is being crazy.
Yeah.
I think if you really want that stuff, jump on it.
That's what I felt.
So this individual who was like waiting on the clothes, how old would you say this person was?
25.
25.
25 to 28.
Okay. And he was coming across arrogant.
Yeah, but then pouty like a little boy. Like,
Okay.
oh, you can't do that. Okay. And I was like, he literally went, oh, you can't do. And I was like, what? And then afterwards, I was like, well, I didn't know. And then before I could say anything, he just pouted. He turned around and walked away. And I was like, you're conflict avoidant too, my dog.
But you weren't like, oh, let's be best friends. We have the same style.
Well, I went and I was like, you know what? Like I was like red and I could feel my heart pounding. And I was like, you did do it. Like this wasn't kind. This wasn't nice. Like, maybe you are the asshole. Go find him and offer him one of these flannels. And then when I turned around, he was just like gone. And then I was like, why would I do that? He wouldn't do that for somebody else.
Well, to play devil's advocate, you know how when you see someone and you think they're a certain age, but they're actually much younger? So let's just say, what if you think this kid was 25, but he was actually 12?
I'm not going to let a 12-year-old treat me like that.
Well, and maybe he was like, his family, he wanted to spend time with his family, but his mom was like, I got things to do. I'm dropping you off here. And so he was just like, he was more or less acting out, He was just like looking for a connection with someone, and you could have been that connection.
I think that if he was looking for that type of connection, then he got the kind of connection he wanted.
But it could have been a foster moment,
I'm not here to foster your kid. I'm not here to foster your kid. That's your soundbite.
I feel like that kind of person, though, would have hung around. Like, even post-conflict,
Right.
I feel like he'd be like at a rack being like still peering, still like trying to,
But
like,
was he?
like those kids kind of hang around a
Yeah.
little. So that's why I'm thinking he maybe is not having that issue with his family. Maybe it isn't 12.
Okay. So you think he's like 47?
I think he was like, 25 to 27, I think.
Okay, so you think he's actually the age you thought he was. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of like, people there
Yeah.
that you could tell fashionably.
Mm-hmm.
You could pick up the vibe
Yeah.
that were there to purchase and resell, which is fine. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm purchasing, I'm customizing, and I'm selling.
Okay.
But I'm not being an asshole about it.
Okay.
Like if somebody's like reaching for the same thing, I'm not going to reach and be like,
Yeah.
I was, you couldn't see me, but I was watching that. I even talked to an employee who I now realize was just pulling and like actually putting it on the rack. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, how's it going? She was like, fine. She didn't tell me not to do it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he was gaslighting you.
Yes, he was manipulating me.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
classic.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
And that's why he was there alone instead of with a partner at the movies, a matinee. We could have been at an afternoon matinee
he
if
could
he had any kind of friends.
I feel like I have a decision.
I think I do as well.
And basically, I do think that it is illegal for a man to yell. In general, kind of. I think anytime I've ever been spoken to and it's in that way in public, I will almost immediately start crying or will go home and cry. And I'll feel guilty forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's kind of one of the worst things that someone can do, and I really don't like that. And if you're going to be in a town like Los Angeles, showbiz, okay?
Showbiz city.
It's showbiz. This is a town, if you're not hustling,
You're getting hustled.
you're losing.
You're losing. You've already lost.
So with that, he needs to learn some
Sterling,
lessons.
I think
okay?
your ride
And
is
so-
there.
You're my ride.
I swatted you. Is that good or bad?
So I just have to say, I think, one, you're probably teaching a valuable lesson of hustle culture of Los Angeles, which is even if you're eyeing something, you better be moving. You better be moving if you want
Because
it.
someone's going to get it.
I'm currently in my hustle culture element. So I'm all for it right now. And I'm all against men being rude and mean.
And he was just, it was the poutiness.
gross.
I was like, ew.
So I'm going good. I'm going good.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Sterling. And because you're so passionate about what you're doing with this new endeavor.
And it's for dykes. And it's for
Yeah,
queers.
exactly. And you're putting good out there. You're taking these old fabrics and giving them a new life, a new journey. And this little Wang was rude.
This little wang.
Yeah.
This little
He could have
wiener.
been nicer about it. He could have said, "Excuse me." He didn't do that. There was no politeness, and I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So I will say, good behavior.
Well, here's the switch. What if we were like, and then I'm like, it was really a they. We've just been misgendering them the whole time. Good or bad.
Okay, let's roll it back.
Okay. So, anyways, you have deemed good behavior.
Yeah, congrats. We deemed good behavior.
It would be nice to be bad behavior once.
I know. Well, we can get you on again.
I'll do something horrendous.
Okay, great.
Yeah, do something congrats. Okay, so we have a little prize for you today for exhibiting such amazing behavior. Blair, do you want to take it
Yes. So, as you know, being in therapy, it's It's the best. But what's even better is when your therapist just sees you and says,
Am I getting 15% off of BetterHelp?
No. But we believe one of the best things you can get is a compliment from your therapist. So right now, pretend I'm your therapist.
Okay.
And I'm going to compliment you.
Okay.
So that's your prize. Are you Olivia Rodrigo? Because good for you. You look happy and healthy. Good for you. You're doing great out there.
I'm literally Googling Olivia Rodrigo to see what she looked like.
TikTok.
Wait, you don't. Wait,
I was like,
that's also really throwback. Olivia
We like to
Rodrigo
we try to
song.
stay hip with the kids.
I love it, and I'm so appreciative, and that feels so good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now that I see, I'm like, wow, thriving. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Ever. And before you wrap up, could you tell listeners where they can find you? Anything to plug upcoming?
Yeah, you can find me at Ever, EVER, Mainard, MAINARD, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of that. My merch is Dyke Stitch, DYKESTITCH. But yeah, Dyke Stitch, if you're into Dyke fashion, come support. But this was so fun. Oh, I also have a podcast called Y'all Gay. They drop on Tuesdays.
And that's our show. Thanks so much for listening today.
We absolutely hate to do this. We hate it.
But it would mean the world to us if you can subscribe to the podcast wherever you get podcasts, rate and review.
Follow us at Bad Behavior NYC on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks again for listening.
And remember, whatever your moral status, we are always here to judge.
Bye.
Do you think that was good?